Okay, good evening. My name is David Cashman. I work at SEB Housing, and this is the lottery for the affordable homes at Hometown Estates in Swansea. I'm going to just type something in the box here. Obviously, I'm the only one that can speak to the camera, but if anyone watching has a question, please feel free to type it in the box to the right of where you see me. I'm going to type something there now. Excuse me. So let me give you a little bit of background information, a little bit of, excuse me, sorry, details about what to expect moving forward. Then we'll do the lottery. This is not going to take very long, and I'll answer any questions that anyone has. So in total, there's 4 affordable units, as you know, being made available through this opportunity. There were a number of households who applied for the lottery, but only 2 of them submitted totally complete and eligible lottery applications. So there's only going to be 2 numbers entered into this lottery. That means that both households who are eligible are moving forward. And really, all we're going to be deciding by doing this lottery is the order on the 2-bedroom list. Okay? Let me tell you a little bit more about that now. So there's 2 waiting lists. There's a waiting list for the 3-bedroom unit. There's one of those. And there's a waiting list for the 2-bedroom unit. On the 3-bedroom list, there's only 1 applicant. So one of the households who was eligible applied for that one. And for the 2-bedroom units, there's 3 of those, and there are 2 applicants, both applicants who are eligible for the lottery. So in other words, one of the lottery households applied and was eligible for a 2-bedroom and a 3-bedroom. So they'll be on both lists, and they'll have to make a decision about which one they want more. Do they want a 3-bedroom or a 2-bedroom? The other household only applied for a 2-bedroom, and so they'll be on the 2-bedroom list. And so that's why when we do the drawing in a sec, really there's only the one household who's going to be on the 3-bedroom list, so they know they're going to get the opportunity to move forward there. That household may decide that they actually prefer a 2-bedroom unit instead, which is why we have to do the drawing to establish which household is 1 and which household is number 2 on the 2-bedroom list. So I'll do the drawing in a moment. I've got both of the lottery application numbers. I will put them in our lottery box, which is here. Nothing fancy. I know, but it works. You won't be able to see that. That's kind of down below the screen, but I will reach in. I'll pull both numbers out, one and then the other. I'll hold them up to the screen and call them as I go so you can see. And that'll establish, and then I'll, whichever household is drawn first is going to be first on the 2-bedroom list, and the other is going to be second on the 2-bedroom list. But like I said, both households are moving forward because there are more units than there are households in the lottery. After the lottery, we will be sending your applications to the monitoring agent for final program approval. I know we've already put you through a pretty rigorous screening process. Excuse me. Oh, not in here. Kate, please. Sorry about that. I know we've already put you through a pretty rigorous screening process, but we do need to get a final approval from the monitoring agent. Usually they agree with, sorry about that, it's my 2-year-old. Usually they agree with our assessment, and on average, I would say it takes 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks after we send your file to them for them to confirm your eligibility. So we'll send you a notice after the lottery to let you know that we've sent your file to the monitoring agent, and then you just need to sit tight for, hopefully just a couple weeks. The monitoring agent will review, and in most cases, they confirm our assessment. Sometimes they need to see a few more documents, but we will let you know. Then, once the monitoring agent confirms our assessment, then households can engage in the home buying process. At that point, the developer and the sales team will become involved. Up to this point, your main interaction has been with SEB. I know you've been submitting your lottery application to us. You've been asking questions to us. But ultimately, we're not the sales team. We're not on site. We're not the ones that are going to show you the units. We're not going to take your reservation or any deposits associated with that. We don't sign the purchase and sale. We don't do any of those things. So once the monitoring agent confirms your eligibility, we will then send a notice around to you and to the sales team. We'll put you in touch so that you can then engage in the next steps of this process, which is to reserve the home of your choice, and then you'll have to put down a deposit with that. Then you'll sign a purchase and sale agreement. Then you'll get a mortgage commitment, and ultimately you'll close. And you'll be interacting primarily with them throughout that process. Now, SEB will stay involved, and that's because there are some deadlines that need to be hit, mostly because there's oftentimes a second review that needs to be done closer to your closing date. If your closing date is a sufficient number of months out from the lottery, the program requires that we just do sort of a more cursory second review to make sure that your income and assets haven't changed drastically and made you ineligible for the program in the interim time that passes between the lottery and when you actually close on a unit. So keep in mind, you do have to maintain program eligibility up through closing. Not just the fact that you're eligible, that you may be eligible right now, doesn't mean you're guaranteed the opportunity to buy a home if you subsequently become ineligible because your income goes up or your assets go up in the interim before closing on the home. So you have to maintain program eligibility, and so you're going to want to keep a file and update some of your documents over the course of the next weeks and months, so that if and when you have to go through that second review, and we need to see some updated bank statements, or we need to see an updated pay stub or something like that, you have it, and you can just say, here, SEB, I've been kind of updating these periodically as I go. No problem. Here you go. And when we communicate with you, so that's kind of our involvement to make sure that second review gets done. That's kind of the main reason for which we stay involved. But just keep in mind, if you need extensions, if you need an extension to get a mortgage commitment or something like that, if there are negotiations that need to be had during the course of the home buying process, those are not requests that come to SEB, because we're not entitled, we don't have authority to act upon those. And that's something that often comes up. Buyers will say, hey, I can't get my mortgage on financing on time. SEB, can I have an extension? We say that we can't give you that. You got to talk to the developer. They're the ones that can give you that. Your agreement, the one you will sign, will be with the developer and their sales team. So they're the ones that would have to grant you that. So just kind of keep that in mind if that issue comes up, or any other issues that may come up in the home buying process. It may very well be that you've got to negotiate with them. That's it. I'm going to do the drawing here in a second. Like I said, it's two numbers. It's going to go like that. Don't blink, you might miss it. I see that both households in the lottery have emails. So shortly after I run the lottery, I'll send you an email that has just a little bit more information about next steps, and it'll also send you the waiting list. Again, the waiting lists are going to be just the 2-bedroom list and the 3-bedroom list. They'll have your lottery application numbers on it. And that will just be your sort of physical reminder of exactly where you are on a waiting list. And then you'll get a reminder, a notice from us saying that we've sent your file to the monitoring agent. And then as soon as we hear back from them, we'll let you know. And we'll let you know what the outcome of their review is and next steps. So any questions before I do the drawing? Everyone good? Should I just go ahead and do it? I'm happy to do that. All right, well, if you think of a question after, I'll stick around for a second, but here we go. So I have the two numbers here, put them in our lottery box. Again, this is going to be really fast. And, all right, pick the first one up. A.002. And then A.001. All right. So that will be the order on the 2-bedroom list. It looks like A.001 was the household who applied for a 3-bedroom. They were the only one, so they will be number 1 on the 3-bedroom list. But I will send you the waiting list in a bit here, and that way you'll have it on paper and you can see where you are. I'll stick around here for just a minute before I shut this down if anyone has a question. But again, you will be hearing from us. You'll be hearing from me within shortly. You'll be hearing from other people on the SEB team about next steps moving forward, specifically your file being sent to the monitoring agent, and then in a few weeks when we hear back. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your interest in this opportunity. It's a great opportunity. And we look forward to continuing to work together with you moving forward. I'll stick around here for a second if anyone has a question. All right. Don't see any questions, but you know where to find us. If you do think of a question, you can always reach out and we will be in touch. Thanks. Have a good night, everyone.